Welcome to a new episode of Jack's No Trade, the show where two guys
I'm one of those guys.
try to do things they don't know how to do.
This is it.
This is one of the things we don't know how to do.
Today we are making a reverse osmosis machine to aid us in our maple syrup making. What's a reverse osmosis machine? It's like a fancy filter, and it removes all the particulates out of water and leaves you with fresh water. In our case, we're going to take those particulates and boil them into maple syrup. The idea of the machine is to create fresh water. So, in theory, you could take this down to the ocean, suck water right out of it, and presto changeo, bingo bango.
Suck water right out of the ocean.
You got yourself some good old water.
Drinking water.
Drinking. We call it drinking water.
We want the stuff that's not the fresh water. We want the stuff that it leaves behind.
That's the maple syrup.
Which will be, I guess technically maple syrup.
Will be maple concentrate.
Yeah, putting maple sap through it and removing the water. So
what we're doing here is we're putting everything on the board to create the system.
I'm going to strap it all down.
With this, it's like a banding that you see at the hardware store. Like that.
Put a screw in there and there to hold these things down. Right.
So we learned it has to go into this is a sediment filter.
Sap has to go into that.
Yep. Into the pump, out of the pump into the gauge, from the gauge to the membrane, from the membrane to the membrane, and then out to collection. So the first thing is going to be from the sap bucket to here. That's going to be a pretty long hose, right?
Yeah.
On here it says in and then out.
Oh, yeah.
So
That fit in there?
that's way too big. I think that's where these come in.
Oh yeah, probably. So we got this gauge because you're supposed to run it through at 60 to 70 psi. Run the sap through the filters and stuff. So that's what this gauge is for, so we know what psi we're going.
That doesn't really fit into here. Right.
Huh. Looks like it has threads here.
Yeah. No stuff with threads.
Weird. Let's see if we can figure this out.
The next day.
So yesterday we discovered that there are holes on this here. Can you see that? That are bigger than our tube.
Quite a bit bigger.
So we had to figure out how to solve that problem, and we went to the store and we found these, which screw right into here. You can see how it works right there. And then the tube fits into that little hole.
And that's how, yeah.
In here, there's nothing. But we're going to put one of these guys, which is sediment filter. This sediment filter is going to fit right on here, like that. Out into there, like that. We'll spin it like that. And then it's all good and tight like that. This is our gauge. With fire. This goes in here. This is the membrane. This is a membrane housing. I don't know which way to put it in though. I'm guessing this goes to the bottom because this doesn't have any but there's these holes.
Okay.
We learned that we weren't really supposed to touch the blue part and just this little top bit, and it goes in like this.
Did you touch it?
Oh yeah.
sound seemed to cut out here for some reason. We think the sap comes out of this hole. So we will relay it up to the next filter. So if the sap comes out of the other hole, this one must be the filtered water.
So it's gonna suck it out of here?
Yep.
Pump's gonna suck it.
Suck it, pump.
And this thing through the pump, through the gauge. And then we'll have maple sap with 70% of the water removed. It's a crazy looking mess. Looks like wild science.
Alright, so we did some experimenting, and apparently our none of our hoses weren't far enough. Matt squeezed us like a maniac. For some reason, I don't know what prompted that. And it started producing water. So we shut off all the valves. We're doing our test run of water to just like flush the system. Shut off all the valves to build up the pressure to, it said 70.
75.
75. Right now we're at like 15. You can take a look at it. But it's building, which is good.
It's still coming out? It's not coming out.
No, I turned it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're building up pressure. That's right.
So that's where we are right now.
Yeah, well, I knew the problem was
It looks like our setup is all good.
it wasn't pumping water through, and we took a line directly from here, which is
Input.
in, and we put it a little
Cup of water.
small cup of water here, just to see if it sucked anything out of there. And it still wasn't doing anything, so I knew the problem was somewhere in here. So I just squeezed them together to see if that would work, and it did.
Then when it started working, we found that we had lots of leaking problems, like you can start
Little,
seeing
yeah.
here.
But some of these connections weren't like.
It's still even, you can let's see, it's still bubbling. Could be tighter.
We also, I read that you should soak the
Membrane or the filters.
filter that's in this thing for 2 days. So it's been soaking for 2 weeks.
Sometime later.
So we're confused. We turned off. We locked everything. Got the pressure built up to 30. Turned it back on. It just blew out a bunch of air. And then this wasn't pumping water through anymore. Then Matt squeezed it and twisted it. I don't know what he did. Now it's pumping water through again. But what we thought should be the refuse is like really banging out. What should be the clean water is nothing's coming out. So we might have this whole thing backwards. We don't know.
This is a hydrometer, and it measures the
Amount of sugar.
sugar content in water. This is just plain water in here now, so I'm just going to get a
Zeroing it in.
zeroing it in. Get a zeroing it in.
Make sure our hydrometer is working right.
So
There should be 0 sugar and there's water.
that 0, it's kind of hard to see because there's light behind it.
You go on the other side.
Oh yeah, right there. See how the line is right at 0? That means it's just water and there's no sugar in it. So now I'm going to do the maple the maple sap, and we're going to get a reading and see how much sugar is in that. I'm standing next to the hydrometer there, looking cheeky. Alright, this is the maple sap.
Overflow here.
It's going too much.
Probably more.
That was interesting. Give it a spin.
Oh, this is gonna have a sugar rating of.
So that's on. Oh, it's in between
1 and 2.
5 and 0.
What?
Well, I'm looking at this scale here.
So
So it's right in between.
1,
Is it
2.
like right in between?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is at 1, 2. It's at 2. I'm just counting the lines.
Okay.
Just let it go, man.
It keeps going to the side.
I know, but it's still reading it.
It's easier from the side.
Do you
Yeah,
see it?
so it's pretty much right in between. So you're saying 2?
Well, if it's right in between, it's 2.5.
1, 2. Okay,
Got 5
let's
lines.
just say it's 2.5.
Okay. There, I'm gonna record what you do.
So here.
Yeah.
This
This floats, dude.
this tube is floating in here and doesn't want to stay down. So Where did I put that bolt? We're gonna attach this bolt to the end of it, and hopefully it'll bring it down to the bottom. That work?
Yeah, pretty much. It's not down to the bottom, but
Yeah, now it is. Pretty much.
all right. Now we plug it in and let it rip. Okay. Now, as that sound indicates, we know it's not doing anything. So Matt, do your thing. Where you squeeze it.
I thought I heard some
Swishy?
water going through it. You hear it?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then I gotta do nothing.
Oh, we got something's happening down there, but that could have just been water that was in the tube. Whoa, it's coming up, man.
So that's just the water.
Well, this is dripping, man. Okay, so we'll just let this run for a while. So
Something's happened that we don't understand.
the higher amount of liquid seems to be the maple sap being reduced.
Condensed, yeah.
We did a second hydrometer test, and it has doubled. The sugar level has doubled.
It's around.
Pick something near that.
It's around 5. And it was in between 0 and 5.
Yeah.
Last time we did it. It's giving me a hard time focusing. So it was in between 0 and 5, and now it's at 5. So it's definitely seems like there's more sugar in this than there is in the maple sap.
But the curious part is our clear water bucket is empty. So
Clean water is supposed to come out of here from filtering it from that. And
well, let's hang on a second now. Hang on, one hot second.
Yep.
It's only taken out a little bit of water, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It looks like none.
but I mean, to reduce it in sugar that level, how much water would have to come out? We don't know.
Is it dripping?
No, stop dripping altogether. I don't know what the hell is happening.
I mean, there is some water in there, but it's very curious. We don't know where the extra water's going. Because that seems to be condensed maple sap.
We know there's some water in here and in here and in here, but we don't know how much. And it seems like disproportionate amount would be.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
The good news is we're getting higher concentration sugar.
Yeah.
The bad news is we don't know. We don't understand. Do we need to understand it?
Not necessarily.
No.
So.
If we want fresh water, this is not the system for
I mean, no, yeah. This is just for the sap.
And it was built as a sap system. So
Yeah.
It wasn't built as a freshwater system.
So, well, when this is done, sucking up all that, running it through here, we're going to run this through again and see if it doubles up again in the density.
Or raises by another point.
Right, or yeah. Just the gravity goes up, that's what we're looking for.
But we've gone through about a quarter of the bucket here.
Yep.
In what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, it hasn't been very long. It's moving. Alright, check back in later. Okay.
So we're adding this back into the original bucket.
You got most of it out.
To redo it again. Reconcentrate.
We're going to add this
Into there.
in there. And then we're going to put this
Yeah, you're going to have to stabilize that.
in here. Let's just do it. This should be the concentrate.
And it should be less, but it's not.
It's not at all?
I mean, it's a little
I think it is a little less. Habadoo. Bapadoom. It's coming out of here.
Everything's coming up raises.
Then we'll test this to see if it's stronger yet.
The mightiest.
Oh, it's coming out of the hole there. Beep-a-dop, beep-bop, boom, bop-a-doom. It's very fluffy at the top here.
Yeah. At some point, we'll get water from this as well.
This definitely looks like we're doing something shady back here. If I saw somebody doing this in their backyard, I'd be like, no, something illegal is going on there.
Pop this in here, but we'll let that fluff down a bit.
Yeah, you're gonna let that dissipate. Now you put too much in. So the hydrometer readings we've been taking have been kind of back and forth. The differences seem kind of negligible, so we're not sure if it's actually working or not. It's just if it's just running the sap through the system, dumping it out over here, there never ever seems to be anything coming out of these hoses. So we're not sure if it's just running it through and not taking anything out. So just taking it from this bucket and putting it into that bucket. So we're going to just revisit this. For now, we're going to put the sap into these 2.5 gallon bags and try to freeze it for another time. Alright, sap in a bag. Alright, we're just going to finish this up here and we'll let you know how it goes. There we go. Out we go. 5 bags of sap.
Your bag of sap.
Okay, so we're going to freeze these now. So after all that, we couldn't really figure out what was going on. It seemed like it was just moving the sap from one bucket to the other. So something was wrong with our tubes, I guess. Or maybe the blue membrane thing that we put inside the the white tubes. Maybe we have to put that in upside down. I really don't know what we did wrong. Something went wrong. So we ended up just scrapping this whole idea. We got rid of the sap. Maybe sometime later we'll try to figure it out again. I think we're going to have to disassemble the whole thing and then try to put it together again a correct way. We couldn't find anything online really on how to put these reverse osmosis machines together. So maybe we'll try to do some more research into that. If you guys have any ideas, or if you've done this reverse osmosis before, let us know in the comments, please. We really would appreciate your feedback. We'll definitely get back to you if you do. So if you like this video and you think we should do more stuff like this, let us know in the comments. Give us a like. Share this video with your friends, please. And whoever else you might think would want to see this. We got another fail video on our hands here. This season seemed to be... we got quite a few fail videos in this one, so... let us know if that's the kind of thing you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That lets YouTube know that we're out there and we're making videos, and it'll spread us out further into the internet space, so other people will be able to find us, other than the people we just send this video to. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe. If you do subscribe, click the little bell. That will let you know when we upload videos. A little notification there. So yeah, we're Jackson No Trade. We'll catch you next time.